Hey, what's up? It's Amanda Wilson, aka Mandy, back with another video, another moment from the heart. For all y'all that like my videos and share them, I appreciate it, because you know, somewhere over the world somebody needs to hear me or hear this message. I want to talk about the importance of being who you are. It's extremely important to be who you are regardless of anything. You were created special. Everybody on the face of this planet was created in a special, unique way, which means there's nobody just like you. No matter how hard people, the world, industries try, you could never ever be duplicated. And there's only one of you, you only get one life. So it's important to be who you are. I was inspired to make this message based on a tragedy that happened in my life. And I realized that it's important for me to live the best authentic self possible. And I encourage you to live the best authentic self possible. The world may not approve. Your job may not approve. The people around you may not approve. Your friends may not approve. But the only vote that truly counts in the candidacy of your life is yours. That's why it's so important to live your authentic truth and be true to that truth. The truth will prevail in who you are, despite who you are. If you live an inauthentic self, you're only hurting yourself in the end, because your parents may not approve of what you do or your lifestyle or the way that you choose to live. But in the end, it's important that we understand that it is not their life in the end. You have to live the life that is chosen for you, and remember that you are special regardless of anything. Anybody out there is feeling like they have to hide because of their sexuality, they have to hide because of their race, or because of what people say, or because of haters, or because of something that somebody said on a social website. My encouragement to you would be is to be who you are, and when you finally live your authentic truth and be who you are, you will be released in your soul like 1,000 doves. There is no freedom like the freedom it feels to be able to let go and say, this is who I am. This is the life that I'm living. This is my true self. There is such a release and a sense of emotional freedom that comes with being who you are. I realized that if a parent doesn't approve of that gay child right now, I realize that maybe it's for religious reasons, or maybe it's for just reasons that they cannot understand. You have to understand that in the end, your parents have lived the life that they wanted to live, whether they chose to take the religious path, whether they chose to take a path of the world, they chose to take the path of whatever path they chose to take. It was their path that they wanted to take, and they lived their authentic self. So for anybody to impose that on another human being to live the way that they're supposed to live according to their parents is a false sense of imprisonment. It is not freedom. You may get people that disapprove of the choices that you make in your life simply because they're not the choices that they wanted for themselves, so they impose that on the people in their lives. Don't regard that fact. Love the people in your life, and love the people that love and respect you for who you are. No matter what that person is, you are unique, you are beautiful, you are special. Be confident in that fact. If the world doesn't approve of where you look, the way you wear your hair, just who you are as a person deep within the soul, that means past the physical, through the heart, and into the soul, then those people are not meant to be in your life. Keep people in your circle and around you that constantly encourage who you are, respect who you are, and constantly uplift who you are, and never encourage you to go into a cage. And the one thing I always tell my significant other is that you could be locked behind bars in a prison, in a cage built for a human being, whether you're a dog or animal or a human that's trapped in prison. You could still be free as long as you keep that mental freedom and stay true to who you are. There is no prison like the prison we create for ourselves mentally when we try to live somebody else's truth. There is no greater prison than to be free physically, but to be caged in your mind. There's one thing to be trapped in your mind and not doing anything, waiting for results and not living your true you. But then there's such thing as being behind bars and being your true you. But all in all, the ultimate freedom doesn't lie in living somebody else, and pleasing your parents, and pleasing Facebook, and pleasing social networks. There is no freedom that you can gain from being exactly who the universe created you to be. And that's a lesson that took me a lot of years to learn. And once you become who you are and who you're meant to be in this life, you understand you would never want to feel what it's like to go back into a prison and be closed and caged inside yourself. Once I became free, and once I freed my mind and freed my body and freed myself to be able to express my life and live the truth that I wanted to live, as opposed to my sisters and brothers, as opposed to my mother, as opposed to my father, as opposed to the world, I became the Amanda LaFay Wilson that I was always born and meant to be. My mother may disapprove, my father may disapprove, my siblings may disapprove, my family may disapprove, but in the end, the advice I give to you is the same advice that I live by. Be who you are. If the people are not confident in you and your truth, then they're not meant to be in your life. And it took me years and years and years of my life of hiding in a prison, writing to my cousin that's in prison, that's a family member that's locked down, always telling him to keep his mind free no matter if he's behind bars. But yeah, I was living in the prison on the outside. And there's no cage like the prison we create for ourselves when we hide our identity and who we are. Be who you are. You are lovely. You are beautiful. You are special in the sense that no other person on the face of this planet can ever, even if they decide to make a clone machine that can clone you exactly the way you are, it will never be you. And remember, I can't stress this enough. Be who you are, and remember, somebody's out there is listening and wondering, you are special. You are a unique individual with unique characteristics that nobody else can duplicate. Nothing on this earth will ever be able to duplicate you. You only get one you and one life. So live that one you and that one life to the fullest and be exactly who you are. My encouragement today is for the person that's hiding in the closet, for the person that feels they cannot be who they are because they want to please their parents or they want to please society. Society will steal your joy and have you locked in a prison on the outside. Just like there's nothing worse than, people always say death is the end, and death is real bad. But if you really think about it on a psychological and metaphoric level, there is nothing, death, you can rejoice that somebody has passed on a transition. But there's no sadder truth. There's a body that's living and dead while they're alive. That right there is the real tragedy. And the same can be applied to being who you are. There is no worse tragedy than somebody that's trapped inside a world being like a social tool without a use. Like I say in every single video, if you get nothing out of this, be who you are, stay encouraged, keep your head up, and remember, don't ever let the world steal your joy, and most importantly, don't ever let anything or anybody on the face of this planet steal your identity and who you are. I'm going to tell you, like I say in every video that I post, stay dedicated, stay motivated, so you can be educated, and eventually we can be elevated. Amanda LaFay Wilson, Chronicles. Till next time.